Yes, welcome in, ladies and gents, boys and girls. We may well have finished the full 10 questions and crowned our season champion, but it doesn't mean the staff at the full 10 yards don't want to have a go at bringing the boss man down. Welcome to a very special Week 17 edition of the full 10 questions. Yes, here we go. Indeed, the boys have waited patiently all season long for a chance to take the boss down, and we've got all the way to week 17, and we thought we'd let the fellas come on and have a crack at him. Joining us on the broadcast tonight, a couple of lads that you will hear on the Fantasy podcast. But first and foremost, welcome in the man himself. Tim, how are you this evening, my friend?
Yeah, very good. So there's a long list of people that have been waiting for their shot for 16 weeks. So similarly, how many of them can take advantage?
It is indeed, mate. Side of growth, though, mate. We usually struggle to get guests by about week 10. The fact that we filled a full season just shows from strength to strength we have gone this year at the full 10 yards. So the boys have had to wait until week 17. But hopefully it'll be worth the wait. Let's welcome the two chaps that are joining us on the broadcast. Start off bottom left-hand corner of your screen, Mr. Brickboard himself. Rob, how are you, my friend?
Hello, boys. How are you? Yeah, good to be here. I've been desperate to get on until I realised about an hour ago, I walked down to the chippy to get me lunch for dinner for tonight. Suddenly realised that A, I'm rubbish at quizzes. B, I didn't really watch week 17 much, and C, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Sounds like a perfect cocktail, mate. Perfect cocktail. That's a winner's speech if I've ever heard one, mate.
Yeah.
Judging by the excuses, he's watched the previous 16 because the whole pepper have already been used, mate. So yeah, don't get happy with that.
No, like if this is being bet on, if you can bet and play, I'm probably around about 200 to 1 right now. So
same for the Colts to win the Super Bowl.
Ooh, ouch.
Fighting talk.
Where are the Cowboys? What are the odds of the Cowboys?
100 to 1.
Bottom right of your corner, let's welcome in Dave to the pod. Dave, how are you, buddy?
I'm very well, gents. It's good to be here. Good to be the cannon fodder for the end of the season, I think. Again, week 17, I've just been thinking how many questions are going to be on John bloody Wolford.
I can tell you now, there is none on John Wolford. You will be glad to know.
In that case, I wasted 5 minutes of my time.
Don't worry, Dave. You got your fans behind you, mate.
Yes.
Hey.
That's my trophy. I'll be lifted at the end of the show.
Dave, why have you got a fan? It's literally minus 20 outside.
The office is. If you could see what was off camera, there's nowhere else for it to go at the moment. That's the neatest place for it to be. At least hazardous.
It looks good to me, mate. It looks good to me. Let's bring up the Kahoot page, and as you will see, it's not just the boys that are on the screen. We're already preloaded. We are rocking and rolling and ready to go with all the boys from the full 10 yards family. They're hopefully watching along on the live stream. This will go disastrously if they can't see the questions, fellas. You could at least make sure you finish in the top 3 if none of these boys can see the questions. But hopefully, all things being equal, we should be good to go. So, as always, boys, eyes down looking. Good luck to each and every one of you. And obviously the fellas playing along on the live stream. Let's hope it does indeed work. Week 17's full 10 questions begins in 3, 2, 1. Question 1, as always, is points related. I want to know how many teams scored 40 points or more during week 17. Were there 2? Were there 3? Were there 4? Or were there 5 teams that managed to score 40 points or more during week number 17 in the NFL? Some good news already, fellas. I've got 6 answers in, so somebody can either see or they're having a random guess, one or the other. We'll soon find out, won't we? 6 answers in.
Playing whack-a-mole with the answers that are coming up on the phone.
It's the one thing I revised, so yes.
There we go. Revision has paid off, my friend. There were 3 teams. They were the Buffalo Bills, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Tennessee Titans. All teams heading to the playoffs, all heading there off the back of a high-scoring week of football. Well done then, boys. And hopefully, there we go. There are some points on the board. And even the fellas that aren't on the screen are also scoring as well. So, obviously, we are working as we intended to be. Question number 2. 3 Eagles, 3 passes in week 17. Jalen Hurts, Nate Sudfeld, and who else? So there were 3 Eagles to throw a football. Who was the other one that threw a pass during the week? Obviously, plenty of controversy about the fact that Nate Sudfeld threw any, but there was another Eagle that got in at the quarterback position for a play or two. Who was it? Anyone watching along thinking, who on earth is Cameron Johnston? He's actually the Eagles punter, ladies and gents. There you go. That's who Cameron Johnston is. And there you go. There is the correct answer. It was indeed Mr. Greg Ward. He threw a 15-yarder to Travis Fulgham in this one. Interesting stat for you, boys. Greg Ward's passer rating was 115. Nate Sudfeld and Jalen Hurts both under 30. I don't know what all the controversy was about. The Eagles clearly didn't put the best guy behind centre for most of the game, did they? So there you go. Most of the fellas getting that one right, and we can see Tim moves on to the leaderboard. Dave extends his lead at the top. Question number 3. Derrick Henry needed 223 rush yards to hit 2,000 for the season, but how many did he actually end up rushing for? Was it 245, 250, 255, or 260?
Balls are wrong.
Oh, no.
Any excuse I can find to get that picture on the quiz, I always take advantage of it. One of my highlights of the 2020 NFL season.
Poor Josh Norman.
I know what his final yardage was on the season, so I should know that. Balls.
Oh, no.
A few of you got it wrong. Yeah, a few slipped up on that one. He was 250. He ended up, as Tim was alluding to there, with 2,027 on the season. So, yeah, 27 more than he needed. Rounded up to a nice 250. So, yeah, there you go. Some change on the scoreboard. James comes onto the leaderboard. Tim drops off. Dave still in the lead, though, after 3 questions.
Go on, Dave.
That's going to haunt me.
Question number 4, fellas. Which player didn't snag a receiving touchdown in the Broncos versus Raiders game? So we've got Tim Patrick, Jerry Jeudy, Brian Edwards, Darren Waller. Quite an entertaining game for a dead rubber.
I know 2 did. Well, who was the...
God. I've answered, but I'm not happy.
I seem to remember that one of them players went for a long one quite late on.
Yeah.
That was Mr. Jerry Jeudy that you
It was, yeah.
Jerry
Jeudy went long. I know Edwards had one. I just guessed that Darren Waller's always seems to be in the end zone at the moment. So
yeah, it's pretty good logic, mate. Good process of elimination. Yeah, Tim Patrick was actually held to just 2 receptions and 46 yards. The other 3 guys did indeed all find the end zone in, like I say, quite an entertaining dead rubber. So what's that do to the scoreboard? We can see Rob moving on up over Dave. No sign of Tim on the leaderboard, ladies and gents. No sign of Tim at all.
Is Tim actually playing? I didn't realise you were playing. Just like the Cowboys, out of the race.
Yeah. Question 5, fellas, as always, will be a picture round. Reveals itself catchphrase style, square by square. Need the full name of the player, please, gents. First and last name.
Have to go early, yeah.
Picture, good for everybody. Just want to know, quite simply, who is in the image. Everybody has to get close to the monitors to see this one. Tell you what I'll do, fellas. I'll try and stick it full screen for you, see if that's a little bit better. It's taken me 17 weeks to realise I could actually put it on full screen for you, gents, to make it just that fraction bigger for you.
Still can't see it. Hang on. Excuse me.
Fairly routine on this week.
Is that
Apologies for that.
Jared Stidham, isn't it?
That's the one.
Oh, he put Cam Newton.
That wasn't me, thankfully, but my autocorrect was going haywire there.
It was indeed Cam Newton. So, yeah, that was the one that you were looking for. As I always do, fellas. Let's actually stick it up full screen just so you can see him in all his glory. There he is. Signing off in style with probably his best performance of the season, but obviously too little too late.
I didn't recognise him without a girl's dress on or whatever he wears to his interviews.
I didn't recognise him smiling.
He hasn't had a lot to swallow about, that's
No.
for sure. Tim's name actually does appear on the leaderboard for the first time. There you go. He's indeed playing. So question number 6, fellas, always an either or, just quarterback related. Just want to know which quarterback threw for more yards in the Bengals versus Ravens game. Was it Brandon Allen or was it Lamar Jackson? Our resident Bengal playing along at home, Mr. Sean Tyler, should know this one. Wasn't exactly a stellar game through the air for either of these two, it has to be said. Suppose it helps if you can rush as a team for over 400, as the Ravens did.
I think I read out Brandon Allen's stat line from the Monday pod. So
if you did that, indeed, mate, then it would have helped. Reading out Brandon Allen's stat line, which I will do in a minute, certainly would have made it stick in your memory. Lamar Jackson's stat line was 10 of 18 for 113 yards. Brandon Allen, 6 of 21 for 48 yards.
Oh, for God's sake.
There you go, fellas.
How can you not beat a running back at the quarterback position?
I've been saying that all year, my friend. Somebody will beat you in the playoffs, surely to God. So there you go. James moves to the top of the leaderboard. Dave, you've been surpassed, my friend.
This is just like New Orleans Saints.
Just like watching the fantasy dream team come through here.
Yeah.
It is all the fancy boys on top. That's a very good point, mate. Very good point. Question 7 is Aaron Rodgers tossed 4 touchdowns against the Bears, but who caught the first one? Was it Robert Tonyan? Was it Mr. Valdez-Scantling? It's Dominic, not Dominic. Dominic
pressed
Daphne,
the wrong one. I've
or
just
Devontae
remembered.
Adams. I nearly went a full week there, Tim, without any spelling mistakes or questions wrong. Dominic Daphne has cocked it up for me.
Got to question 7.
Yeah, never mind.
You know when you click the button and you realise that you pressed the wrong one? That's exactly what I just did. No, maybe not. Sorry.
Maybe not. There you go. That's the one you wanted, mate. Robert Tonyan. They were the order that they actually went in. Robert Tonyan got the first, then Scantling, then Daphne, and then Adams rounded off the touchdowns through the air as the Packers look rather good, don't they, heading into the postseason. They'll rest up and have a week off on wildcard weekend. There we go. Ooh, it's all changed on the leaderboard. Tim takes top 3 position.
Come in, boys, I'm coming.
He is coming.
This mid-round hubris is going to backfire.
3 questions to go, fellas. 3 to go. Who can finish strongest? Question number 8. Which of these receivers had the most receiving yards for the Bills versus the Dolphins? Was it Gabriel Davis? Was it Isaiah McKenzie, John Brown, or Stephon Diggs?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to go with... I don't know.
All of them had a good day, it's got to be said.
Oh, it's going to kill me now. Should I go with the guy that had 2 touchdowns? I'm going to go with you.
I know he had a very good first half, but I don't think he did a lot in the second half.
Balls. There you go, fella. That's the one you wanted, Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis had 107 yards. Stephon Diggs was next with 76. John Brown was 72. And although he took a lot of the headlines, Isaiah McKenzie's receiving yardage was only 65. He obviously had the big punt return as well, which may have tripped a few of you up. 3 total touchdowns on the day, but only 65 receiving yards. So what's that done to the scoreboard? James moves back up. It's all very tight, fellas. All still to play for. 2 questions to go. Mind you, Dave, the next question's Saints related, so you could be in play here. You could be in play, my friend.
No pressure.
Question 9. Which of the following players did not record one of the 5 Saints interceptions against the Panthers?
Drew Brees?
I wouldn't make it that easy. Malcolm Jenkins, Janoris Jenkins, Marshawn Lattimore, or PJ Williams?
No idea.
5 different Saints all recorded an interception. Unbelievable stuff. But which one of those didn't?
Guess from me.
Yeah, I just guessed early because I need the points. I need to see if I'm right.
It's one of 2 that I'm unsure of. Yes.
It was Janoris Jenkins. Everybody always guesses the defensive questions. Oh, you fancy boys, you only care about the offense. There's 2 sides to the ball, fellas. Janoris Jenkins was the one that didn't get one. The other two fellas that did who aren't on the question list there were Ken Crawley and Grant Haley. Like I say, 5 interceptions for that defence against the Panthers, who changed quarterbacks and still carried on throwing interceptions. So that's the leaderboard with the one question still to go. And as always, fellas, the final question will be putting a list into the correct order for me. And question 10 is this week, can you put the quarterbacks into order of passing yardage on the week? So give me the guy that got the most to start with and end with the guy that got the least. So we've got 4 quarterbacks all going to the playoffs this weekend. Philip Rivers, Baker Mayfield, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson. Drag your colours into the relevant order and press your submit button on your keypads, chaps. And we will then get our winner at the end of the staff edition of the Full 10 Questions.
Rubbish.
Got 5 answers in. See, all these lads that are playing offline, they're all Googling now, chaps. They've got a new question. They're all cheating. There we go, fellas. There's the correct order. So Tom Brady with the most. It was a bit of a layup to give you Tom Brady in that list, to be fair. He got 399. Baker Mayfield, 196. Russell Wilson, 181. And Philip Rivers, 164. That was the correct order that you wanted them in. So that's the end of the questions. And let's have a look at what goes to the podium. Third with a 7 out of 10, Sean Tyler. Well done, Sean, playing along at home. Congratulations, mate. 6 out of 10.
Oh, Davey.
Dave. And with an 8 out of 10. It's Mr. James Fotheringham. Well done to NFL Hype Train himself, playing at home with the baby on his lap, and he's still beating you, fellas. That's embarrassment for you.
All hail, James.
So yeah, congratulations to James playing along at home.
He might have whiffed with his Dallas Goddard call all year, but he certainly nailed it in the quiz. Well done, bud.
When it mattered most. Tim, obviously been a great regular season for you, mate, and obviously a few of the fellas beat you there. Been good fun, and we've got plans for the Full 10 Questions moving forward. Do we want to tease it a little bit now?
Just make sure you keep your eyes peeled on Pro Bowl week.
That's very nicely done, mate. That's very nicely done. Very nicely done. And fellas at the bottom of the screen, like I say, waited all 16 weeks for it. And Dave, certainly you kept up your end of the bargain at least, mate, getting more points than the boss himself.
Well, I went into the end of the season as the number 1 seed, and much like New Orleans, it just didn't go the way I wanted to, which could be a very ominous sign for the postseason itself.
Well, it could be, mate. At least the New Orleans Saints at this stage actually look like they could field a team, which is a little bit unlike my side at the minute.
Well, yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Silver linings, my friend. Silver linings. And Rob, pleasure to have you on as always, mate.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been fun. Like I said, I didn't disgrace myself. I was in the top 3 there for a while. So yeah, I was quietly impressed with myself. I'm usually thick, so that's great.
Absolute pleasure as always, fellas. Obviously, thanks to the boys playing along at home as well. I'm sure there'll be plenty of banter going backwards and forwards now in the WhatsApp group as to who finished where in the quiz. But like I say, we will hopefully be back over the course of the next few weeks. But we'll certainly be back in some format. We'll start incorporating the Full 10 Questions into our Monday night pod. And like Tim said, keep your eyes peeled. There is some potential big plans in the works for the Full 10 Questions in the week of Pro Bowl / Super Bowl build-up. So fingers crossed we can announce something on that soon. But until then, myself and Tim will be back very shortly at 9 with Dave and Adam to recap, to preview Wildcard Weekend. But that's it from the Full 10 Questions. As always, in the great words of Kevin Cadle, bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.